My whole family is fighting over this. I'll try to make this as short as possible. My father passed away last month. He owned a classic car. I believe it's a 1950s Chevy Bel Air. My son, nearly adult, is the only grandson he had. I have one sister who has 2 daughters, and I have 2 daughters along with my son. So there are 5 grandkids in total. My dad was never much of a girls' guy. He always got along with the boys more than the girls. He and my son were very close. He's left the car to my son in his will. The rest of the grandkids got $4,000 each. The vehicle is valued at over $70,000. My sister is livid. I'm unhappy as well. It's just blatantly unfair to his 4 other grandkids. I don't understand the legality of the situation because it was left to him, but he's currently underage. The car is currently held at my mom's house. I don't know how to force him to sell it, but I think that should happen, and the money can be decided equally among the grandkids, the way it should be. My son is very upset about this. He says Grandpa left him the car, so it's his car. I have money saved for his college, and I'm almost considering telling him that his college money will be divided up among his sisters and cousins if he refuses to sell the car. Am I the idiot for forcing my son to sell the car he is inheriting? Edit, yes, my siblings and I got some money too, a little more than the girls got. Most of the assets went to my mom. There were only a few things he passed to us when he died because he knew the rest of it would be when my mom goes. My husband thinks we should leave everything as is, but maybe speak to my mother about leaving more to the girls than to my son when she passes. That is where most of the money is since she has my dad's estate. I've been worked up because my sister and her husband are extremely mad and talking my ear off about this. My girls, the oldest is set to get married this year, are also very unhappy. It's blatantly unfair to the other grandkids. My daughters asked why Grandpa didn't love them as much as their brother. Lady, you're asking the wrong question here. You need to ask yourself whether you intend to honor your father's last wishes about his property or not. It seems unfair, but forcing him to sell it would damage your relationship with your son. Is it worth doing that? OP, you're so concerned with being fair to your daughters and nieces, but you don't seem at all concerned with being fair to your son. How is it fair to rob him of his rightful and legal inheritance? OP plans to loot the young man's college fund if she can't figure out how to force him to sell the car so she can steal the money. That's despicable. All because she never taught her daughters that money doesn't equal love and her sense of fairness doesn't trump a legal will. OP, you are the idiot. I hope you figure it out before you lose your son over this. Yep, this is disgusting. The grandma can leave a more significant portion of the inheritance to granddaughters. Soon this poor young man will be posting, "Am I the idiot for going no contact on my mother, who puts the mother in smother because she bullied me into selling what my beloved grandpa gave me and or stole my college funds, and also going low contact on the 4 young ladies who gladly partook in this against me, taking what was mine for themselves." Holy crap, why do you hate your only son so much? OP, you can give his college money to fund his sister's wedding or whatever, and it will be just the same as stealing his car. If you do it, you won't be in his life anymore. This is not about money, this is his remembrance of the granddad he loved and was close with. He made an effort to spend time with Grandpa, but the girls did not. So let him keep Grandpa's last gift, or lose your son. This is not about money, and he will never forgive you. My daughter, let's call her Sophie, used to be best friends with Kat. They used to be best friends in elementary school, but ever since middle school they've started to grow apart. The school splits the kids in advance and it's normal for math and science. All other classes are still together. My daughter was placed in advance and Kat was placed in normal. No big deal, they still see each other in school. They were still close friends until group projects. There have been multiple group projects and kids get to pick their partners. Kat and Sophie usually work together, which is when issues start. Sophie would get frustrated that the work Kat did wasn't correct. I told her to turn it in without fixing it, and she got a bad grade on that assignment. After that, Sophie went through a period of fixing stuff. After a while, I told her to stop doing group projects with her, so they stopped doing projects together, and the friendship blew up. So they're not friends anymore. It's Sophie's birthday and invites were sent out. Kat wasn't on the invite list my daughter made. I got a call from her mom asking why she wasn't invited. I informed her they aren't really friends anymore. She said to invite her anyway since this is just a spat. I told her the people invited were people my daughter wanted at the event. This went on for a while and it came to why they weren't friends anymore. I said it was due to both girls' intelligence levels, and I tried explaining the group project issue. She angrily accused me of calling her kid dumb. I never said that. She called me a jerk. Edit. I told her they weren't friends anymore, but she kept asking why. That's why I brought up the issue of why they aren't friends anymore. I wasn't going to lie. Also, she should already know why that friendship blew up. The kids were arguing about it constantly for a while. You are the idiot, and in such a way that I worry the universe might collapse around you. First, intelligence isn't a thing the way you think. There was a real opportunity to teach her to respond with compassion and humility, which would have given her valuable characteristics and lessons about relating to other people in school and the workplace. Instead, she will really struggle if she repeats this. Go look up the process approach to learning and ask yourself if you're setting her up to learn or to stop learning as soon as she feels she's better than someone else. Hard disagree. How is it wrong for the daughter not to want to work with someone who's messing up her group project, leaving her with more work? There's nothing wrong with her picking another group to work with. It isn't rude. She isn't entitled to work with the other girl, and it's normal for middle schoolers to grow apart. It's probably good that they don't do school projects together anymore. The only idiot here is OP for calling the kids stupid, a really immature response from an adult. I said it was due to both girls' intelligence levels. Oof, how can you even type that out and still wonder if you're the idiot? Learn some tact, for crying out loud. You are the idiot. You called her kid dumb without calling her kid dumb. All you had to do was say, as far as you know they aren't friends anymore, that they started having a downfall over group projects and have just drifted apart. My mother-in-law is 64. My husband and I are both 30 and we have an infant daughter. I've had an issue with this since day one. So she came to see us when my daughter was a few days old, and how she held my baby was ridiculous. Face down with her head sideways, her hand on her head and no other support, my daughter's legs pointed up toward mother-in-law's elbow and swinging her back and forth fast enough to give her the startle reflex repeatedly while screaming. She laughed about it. She thought my daughter being scared was hilarious, apparently. I took my daughter back and told her that she was never to hold my daughter like that again. She pulled the, "I've had 4 kids, I know what I'm doing" talk, and refused to see my point of view, so I didn't let her hold her again until she was a few months old. Same damn thing. As soon as she could hold my daughter again, she started flinging her around in the same position. I immediately take her back and say, "Obviously you haven't learned your lesson. I told you that you weren't to hold my daughter like that. I don't find it funny that she's screaming while you're flinging her around and not supporting her body at all." I told her and my husband she's not holding my daughter again until she stops disrespecting me. My husband was angry. However, he didn't say anything because he gets it and see why it sketches me out, but is still bothered that his mom is alienated. I told him she would get another opportunity when she learned to respect me. He agrees. Well, she's been coming over often and I figured I would give it another shot because she's been good and it's been 2 months since the last incident. She takes the baby, but immediately flings her in the downward position while aggressively getting her neck with no support to her head or anything. Again, my daughter starts screaming and flailing her arms out in a startle reflex. Mother-in-law again starts laughing and saying, "Oh, such a scared baby, it's 'cause Mama doesn't play with you." I took my baby from her arms, told her to leave, and said she would not be holding her ever again. She asked why, and I said it was because she once again was being disrespectful and laughing at my daughter being scared because she refused to stop being so damn aggressive with her. She turns to my husband and says, "Screw this, I won't be coming around anymore," and leaves. My husband is angry at me right now. He says I'm cutting his mother out over my fear and that the baby was fine and she raised 4 kids and likely did the same crap to us and we turned out fine. I refuse to budge on this. I'm not okay with her flinging my baby around. I don't care how many babies she raised. Am I the idiot? Edit, just so we're clear, my baby is not colic and she hardly ever cries. If she does, it's because she's tired and I can calm her in seconds. When my mother-in-law holds her, however, she screams. Even if she wasn't doing anything wrong, as a mom with a baby who hardly cries, hearing my baby scream while this woman does this is not okay at all. Not the idiot, I wouldn't let her within a mile. As for your husband, look how he turned out. You have a husband problem. What kind of sociopath finds it funny to terrorize their grandchild? Exactly. Hope he should schedule an appointment with the child's pediatrician and make the husband come. Take a doll and demonstrate to the doctor how your husband's mother has handled your child and your baby's reaction. Say, "Doctor, my husband thinks the way his mother terrorizes our child is okay. What do you think?" OP, you gave the old bag 3 chances to respect you and your decisions as a parent, and she blew it all 3 times. Your husband needs to grow a really shiny spine and tell his mom, this is not her kid. She does not get to say how the baby is held or fed or anything at all. I wouldn't allow her in your house again. By the way, if her child-rearing methods were so perfect, why is your husband such an idiot? I'm so angry on your behalf. Your husband is not protecting your little family. I, male 28, live in an apartment that I got from my uncle. The apartment has 2 bedrooms, so I rented the room as I don't need the extra space. My roommate, male 24, has been living with me for a little over a year and a half. He's been dating his girlfriend, 24 I believe. For 5 or so years she's lived in another house and has 4 roommates. As her house was more crowded, my roommate asked me if it was okay if she stayed over sometimes. I agreed since I don't have a problem with it as long as they're respectful. We haven't had any major issues until now, but his girlfriend got pregnant, he told me, and I was like, oh great, congratulations. He did try to bring up a conversation to see if I allowed her to move in with him and us, but I said no. I work from home most of the time, and I don't want to deal with the 3rd person or a newborn in the future. He asked me if she could still come and stay some nights as before, and I said that was fine. She's 4 or so months into her pregnancy. Well, these last 3 months she's become very annoying whenever she's staying over. What I mean is that I got woken up in the middle of the night or early morning too many times because she was running to the bathroom at the end of the hallway. I don't use that bathroom, I have my own connected to my room, but my guests sometimes use it and they've said that it's dirty and messy. She's staying over a lot more nights than she used to before. The biggest problem is that she's developed really bad nausea. Even now she's still having morning sickness, which I believe should have stopped already. We've had many issues regarding food because my roommate asked me to stop having some foods that get her sick. I told her that this was not her house and she had no right to come and expect me to change my diet because of her. They took that very badly. I continued my life as usual. She always complains and runs to the bathroom when I cook. There have been a couple of times when she's actually thrown up on the floor too, which is disgusting. I'm sick of it, to be honest. So I told my roommate that either she stops coming over, she stops complaining, or he moves out. I would give him a month or 2 if he needs it to find somewhere else to live, but I'm tired of having his girlfriend over. She's annoying me. He of course got very upset and said that she wouldn't annoy me so much if I were more understanding of her condition. He said that they're not in a comfortable position to move, that she's sick and needs his support and all of that. Some of my friends and co-workers and family are on my side, but some others said that I'm behaving like a total idiot and that I could easily change my diet for a couple of months. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She doesn't live there and you've made it clear you don't want an infant in the house since you work from home. While you might be a little more accommodating while she's there, your roommate and his girlfriend need to move into their own space to prepare for a baby. They chose to get pregnant and stay pregnant, so they need to adult up and prepare for bringing another life into this world they will need to support. While I know you can't control morning sickness, she should be able to make it to a bathroom or sink or garbage can to throw up. I've never had a guest do it on my floor multiple times. It would be better if she did that at her own place, which she is paying for. Oh, and everyone telling him to accommodate his roommate's girlfriend is more than welcome to do so themselves. Dude, consult a lawyer. There are definitely protections in place regarding housing discrimination for having a child. It's his child. This can be the baby's primary residence. Even if she doesn't move in, find out your rights, sooner rather than later, regarding not re-signing his lease, and it would be easier before the baby. Evict him now so that's not an issue, or roll the dice and take your chances, but then be ready to take what's coming to you. I have a son who graduated college last year. We're both car people, and as a graduating gift I paid 60% of the cost of a brand new car he wanted. It's quite a nice car. After it was bought, I told him he shouldn't let his girlfriend ever drive it. He seemed annoyed and started questioning why, but we agreed to disagree and just left it at that. He didn't listen to me and let her drive it. Well, she crashed it a few days ago, scraped a barrier and damaged the whole side of the car. She told him some story about how some semi tried. Am I the idiot for telling my son he shouldn't allow his girlfriend to drive his car? You are the idiot. You're weirdly controlling and also come off as a misogynistic idiot. If your son got into a car accident, would you call his accounting some story? Maybe you're not misogynistic. Maybe you're just super judgy of all non-car people. But that alone still makes you an idiot. You're also an idiot because you're trying to attach strings to what was supposed to be a gift. He's already told you he won't implement the restrictions you want, yet you keep pushing. Your wife is a non-car person. Your daughter is a non-car person. The girlfriend is a non-car person. Papa OP is a car person. Your son is a car person. So by non-car people, you mean people born female, right? You are the idiot, a misogynistic one at that. Fun fact. According to statistics, women drive more safely than men. I hope they have their own cars to drive away and leave you alone with your Hot Wheels. I don't know, my dad lets his sister-in-law drive and not my mom, and I wouldn't let my mom drive my bike. Granted, the girlfriend might be a bad driver, given how quickly the crash happened. I'm the only gal here who's going to say OP is not the idiot. It's just a good rule of thumb not to loan out expensive items to people when that expensive item could cost you more if anything should happen.